What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with the full Zoroark Master of Illusions movie Pokemon team. I'll be using the Pokemon or the main Pokemon from this movie and putting them onto one team. The Zoroark Master of Illusions movie was released on the 10th of July 2010, so you may as well say it was 12 years ago. So man, I was 21 then, right in my prime. People, how old were you? So, I've got two battles today with this movie team, and I hope you enjoy. We're continuing it, and I'm looking at the calendar when Scarlet and Violet are going to drop, so I'll probably have, let's say I'll have probably 3 more of these movie teams to do, and that'll be it. You know, we'll be up to the Hooper movie. Alright, first battle here. This was a very interesting battle. We're actually on the DLC background at the moment, and we've got a theme team here as well, so let me know if you can guess that. So my first Pokemon is going to be Raikou. Now, I know these are meant to be, these are actually shiny in the movie. Funny fact, I've actually got these events, but I completely forgot to use them, you know, after I started doing battles and people started roasting me saying, you know, why didn't you use the shinies for? I'm like, I completely forgot. So yeah, that's why I didn't use them for. So just, I sort of forgot about that. Anyway, so we're going to go to Suicune. I got roared out by a Incineroar. Funny that. So we got a physical Suicune here. This is a Bulldoze Liquidation Ice Fang Cursed White Herb set with Inner Focus, Max Attack, and Max Speed Jolly Nature. Now, unfortunately for me, I was versing a Weakness Policy Incineroar, and that's going to give a very, very big boost set. So it's going to go for Dankus Lariat. Now, Suicune has very, very good base defense, so it doesn't one-shot me. That, you know, if it didn't have that good base defense and health, I would have fainted. So I can go for a Liquidation here or a Bulldoze. We're just going to go ahead and go for Liquidation. Will it faint Incineroar? I was like, no, I don't think so. Suicune's attack isn't really the greatest in the world either. So here comes another attack from Incineroar, and that is going to be the end of my Suicune. Now, this thing was pretty interesting because you had to sort of make way for having a Zoroark and a Zoroark. So you had to plan which Pokemon at the start of the battle that you were going to disguise each Pokemon as. So this is my Zoroark here. Obviously, I disguised as Raikou as being cheeky. And we got a counter set. Counter, Knock Off, Sucker Punch, and Protect. Obviously, we got Focus Sash as the item with the counter, Max Attack, and Max Speed Jolly Nature. So I decided to try and go for a counter on the Incineroar. Unfortunately, Incineroar actually went for a boosting move there instead. It's like, okay, it'll have to use it eventually. And then it used Burning Jealousy. It's a mix Incineroar set. And yeah, I was getting pretty salty because, like, you know, obviously I couldn't use any attacking moves. So now it's like, well, I can't do anything at all. I know that they're probably going to attack me next turn. The best I could do is go for Sucker Punch. So Sucker Punch does like 1 damage as expected, and now Incineroar is going to finish off the Zoroark, hidden as the Raikou in one shot there. So that's very, very unfortunate. I obviously didn't expect it to be a special and physical set. So we're going to go into Raikou again. I'm trying to like what I'm trying to do, like especially with this team, I tried to actually disguise it as one Pokemon, like Zoroark and Zoroark. I like to disguise it as one Pokemon to try and confuse the opponent. It was pretty fun. So we're gonna go for a Wild Charge here, and it lives. Oh, you wouldn't read about it. So now, it's going to be living on 1 health and going for Burning Jealousy. Now, Burning Jealousy won't touch Raikou. It's got good, you know, good special defense there. And I've got the Toxic Opposite items. So this is a physical Raikou. We've got Facade, Wild Charge, Magnet Rise, and Iron Head. Max Speed and Max Attack. I'm going to finish off with a boosted Facade there. Not that it really mattered. Incineroar only had like 1 health left, regardless. This was a Inner Focus ability too. You got to see that activate at the start when it was matching up with Incineroar. Next Pokemon is going to be Electivire. I've always thought Electivire should be electric and fighting type too. I don't know, like, as soon as I seen it for the first time, that was something I always thought was strange. Like, what do you think? So I'm going to go for Facade there on Electivire. It does pretty good damage now. Electivire actually went for Charge. Now, we'll say this right now, I actually was very, very close to go for Magnet Rise there, because I thought that Electivire may go for Earthquake, so, you know, I was lucky I didn't do that. So, I'm going to go for Facade again, outspeeding Electivire, and it's not even going to get a chance to attack, which is very, very good. It's quite cool. The Raikou and the Electivire had sort of like similar markings on their body. Not exactly the same, but they had like a, you know, yellow, sort of main yellow body with black symbols on there, or like marks. Next Pokemon is going to be Gengar and Shiny. Wow, the difference is so, you know, I can really say it. I can go for a Wild Charge here or an Iron Head. At this stage, I'm already like well into my poison damage, so I'm probably going to get 1 more attack. I was like, let's go for Wild Charge. It's my most strongest attack. So go for Wild Charge on the Gengar. Gengar takes it reasonably well, only because it's a physical Raikou, and I lived on 1 health. You wouldn't read about it. Now, Gengar's going to go for a Sludge Wave here. Sludge Wave obviously is going to take me out, and that's the end of the Raikou there. So I can't really disguise Zoroark for that anymore. Now, I also had another Pokemon on my team that learned similar moves to Zoroark, and that was Entei. So I noticed that Zoroark got Snarl and Extra Senshi of Flamethrower, and Entei learned all of these moves as well. So what I did a troll set for both of them, so they had exactly the same move and setup there to try and confuse the opponent. Now, Gengar is going to go for a Perichong on my Zoroark, which is disguised as the Entei, and we're going to go for a Substitute here. Now, this Zoroark set is a Staff Berry substitute. We've got max speed and max special attack, timid nature. I also ran exactly the same set on Entei, mainly to try and trick the opponent, you know, like I was trying to find moves that both of them had. Obviously, you know, with Zoroark and so it's not like I had like a ghost type Pokemon to hide it with that can actually work, or a poison type, but you know, I felt that was the best thing I could do with Zoroark in this situation. Plus Substitute was kind of nice too. I could attack behind the sub and then I wouldn't get revealed. So we're going to go for a Snarly, and I got the Cursed Body on Snarl, which doesn't really matter all that much. So that's the end of the Gengar. Now the next Pokemon to come out here, there's 2 Perish counts left, is going to be the Blaziken. So I was like, okay, this is a very, very threatening Pokemon. I probably need to go for Dynamax, and I can go for Dynamax Max Mindstorm. That'll be nice. I don't think they'll be expecting a Psychic type move here. So we're going to go for Dynamax Entei. You know, it's really bulky Pokemon, you know. So, yeah, if I get hit, seriously, but if I get like a physical move on this Zoroark, I'm going to get one shot, like, easily. Now, I was hoping that the Blaziken didn't have Focus Sash, because if it did, you know, Zoroark was going to get dropped, whether it be a physical move or a special move. It's not a very bulky Pokemon. So go for the Max Mindstorm on the Blaziken there. Blaziken does not have a Focus Sash, and it is going to be fainting in one shot, so that's really, really good. Now any priority moves are also going to be, you know, stopped as well, which could be handy on not having my, you know, obviously my illusion broken there. But what do people think of this movie, the Zoroark Master Illusion movie? What did you think of it? What were your thoughts on it? Like, out of, you know, all the Pokemon movies, did you think it was a good one? Let me know. So next Pokemon is going to be Urshifu here. I can't really do a lot here. I can go for Max Flare. That's about it. That might be able to help out the other Entei in my team, because it does have Flamethrower as well. Now we're going to have a G-Max Urshifu. I did have a little feeling this was going to happen as well. I couldn't figure this team out until the Gengar came out. Like, I figured it out then, but I was like, huh, what's this team? I was like, oh, I recognize that nickname. So, here we go. We got Dynamax Urshifu here. Like, any of its moves are probably going to do a lot of damage to Zoroark. So go for Max Flare here. I was like, okay, if I get hit by a fighting move, I'm done. But if I don't, I should be able to live. I was hoping he'll use a dark type move, like, you know, G-Max One Blow or something like that. Unfortunately, it's gone for a Max Knuckle, and it sounds like, this is going to be the end of Zoroark. So there you go. You probably never ever see a Entei faint as quick as that in Dynamax, because it's a Zoroark. So now my opponent is going to get to see the Zoroark. Maybe they guessed it already, because, you know, Team Preview did show Zoroark and Zoroark there. That's another thing I wanted to say as well about Team Preview. Obviously, back in the day when you didn't have a Team Preview, you could actually, like, Pokemon like Zoroark were really quite good. You got Pokemon like Urshifu, right? If you look at them in the team preview, their icons are exactly the same. So you don't know which Urshifu you're actually going to be versing, which is crazy. Like, it's almost like I mean, it's not as strong as not seeing a team preview, but it still kind of is, because you don't know which one you're actually going to verse until you go into the battle. Like, that's really, really interesting to me. So what I did there is I did a double swap into, I swapped into Celebi here. That was like a bulky Perichong set, but it got absolutely wrecked. So now I've got my Entei left. It's my last Pokemon. As you know, it's the same set as Zoroark, and I'm going to go for a Substitute here. The good thing is I can actually get around these last couple of attacking moves. Last attacking move from the Urshifu, I actually managed to outspeed it, which is really nice. Now, the sun is up on the field only for a limited amount of time, and Urshifu's special defense is absolute trash, so I thought I might be able to, you know, take advantage of that. Now, this Urshifu has a lot of attack boosts now. It got them from, you know, via Dynamax and stuff, so I really have to make a decision. I was like, okay, I've got one more turn of the sunny day left, or I go for a, like, after the substitute, I've got one more turn left, or I go for a substitute sub right down to my Staff Berry and hope for a special attack boost. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen because you got to roll that stat. It's a random raise stat by 2, and you may roll something like defense or attack, and then I won't have the boost of the stun. So I decided here with the last turn of Sunny, I was like, I'm not going to risk it. Let's go for Flamethrower. I need a Faint this Urshifu. It's way too much of a risk. So that's going to be able to take it out, which is excellent. So bye-bye Urshifu. Look, there was a chance I could have still taken it out, but it might have just lived, which would have been very bad. So now the sun is going to disappear, and the last Pokemon is going to be Serena. I was like, I have to keep this Pokemon as well because it's super effective against this Serena. So I've also got subbers. Like, maybe I could sub down. I've got a chance now to sub down into that. I was like, no, I'm going to go for Flamethrower in case it has some other move, like maybe High Jump Kick. And that would probably be a little bit risky to use too. Instead of going for an attacking move, the Serena's going to go for a Teeter Dance. Like, oh, I see. So I don't think this has a lot of moves to hit me with, and they're sort of like relying on me to hit myself in confusion. So I'd say it's got like Trop Kick. It probably has like Triple Axle. Really, it's only probably got High Jump Kick. I'd say it's got maybe Play Rough as well if it is a physical scene. So go for another Flamethrower, getting through the confusion, thank goodness, and Serena is going to be fainting. So Serena didn't even have High Jump Kick. It had all the other moves I just suggested there. So the other move was Teeter Dance instead of High Jump Kick. So they were completely wild at the end. Anyway, thank you for the Battle Freezer, and let's get on to battle number 2. Speaking of Freezer, I have done a Dragon Ball Z team before, but that was a really long time ago. I want to say that was like 6 or 7 years ago. So maybe one day I'll maybe revamp that. We'll see. All right, next battle. This against Peepslot, and we're back on the normal battlefield here, or the normal arena, and we've got an interesting theme team here as well. See if you can guess what it is. So we're going to go into a Entei lead here, and we're going to be throwing the substitute up. Now, Scorbunny actually swapped out and swapped into Corvus Squire. Now, I'll give you a clue if you're sort of wondering what sort of team this is, if you're a little bit lost. Have a look at the nicknames. They give away what this team is, and sometimes some of the moves that are used too. That's your biggest clue right there. So anyway, we've got the Brave Bird coming from Corvus Squire. That is going to be able to break my Entei sub there, and it's going to take a bit of recoil. So we're going to be subbing down here into, obviously a berry, and hopefully I can get a Staff Berry to boost my special attack. Oh, also, another thing too, today is a double upload day. So yesterday I was going to put a video up, but I don't know, YouTube didn't, I don't know, they had like problems with like processing video, so I wasn't able to get the video up yesterday. So there would have been a video earlier on today. I'm going to stagger the upload so you don't get spammed at the same time. So earlier on, there was a 6 Como team. So make sure you check that out too. If you didn't see in the subscriptions box or any of the normal methods, you didn't see that, go check it out after this. It would have been earlier on my channel, probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours ago. All right, so anyway, we got this taunting Corvus Squire. So unfortunately, I can't go for Subdued. I really hate how Taunt goes for Subdued. Like, it sucks. Like, I reckon it shouldn't go through. Like, a lot of other status moves are blocked like that. So anyway, Corvus Squire is going to have obviously a Roost set there. I knew that have Roost, depending on what sort of team this was. And now I'm going to go for Flamethrower. Again, I'm quite confident I can probably take this out if I get a critical hit. It'd be great if I could get a burn, though. So hiding behind my substitute, hoping the the taunt has got to wear off so I can get another substitute down to maybe get a Star Berry boost. So the substitute is going to fade there. Brave Bird is doing like a little bit too much damage to the Entei. So I was like, okay, I've got a chance here. Let's go ahead and go for Flamethrower. I'm probably going to need a critical hit here or a burn to take it out. Unfortunately, that was not the case. However, Corvus Squire is going to go for a Brave Bird here. That's going to be enough to take out the Entei, and it's also going to be enough to take out the Corvus Squire too, thanks to the recoil damage. So it was a double KO there. Always pretty cool when that happens. Now I'm going to go into Raikou, and this is going to be obviously a disguise as Zoroark. Next Pokemon to come back in here is going to be the little Scorbunny. So Scorbunny is going to have Libero turning into a normal type. I just went for I went for a wild charge here against, I went for Extra Sentry because I thought I might be able to get a flinch and then get my Toxic Orb up there. I was going through my head. I was like, do I go for Wild Charge or do I go for Extra Sentry? So Scorbunny is going to be swapping out, and in comes Porygon. I was like, oh, I think I know what they're going to use here, judging on the nickname. We'll see. So go for Extra Sentry again, and go for Extra Sentry again. So I'm going to try and get a flinch on Porygon. Porygon's kind of bulky, though. I think they've definitely got an Everlight running on this. And I got a critical hit, though. So now Porygon's going to go for a really cool move called Conversion 2. And that's actually going to change it into a Psychic type. So that's actually going to make my my extra sentry, not very effective. So I just went for a normal attacking move there on the Porygon. Now they're going to go for Discharge, which is really cool. Discharge is going to do a critical hit to me as well. So that's actually going to reveal my Zoroark. I'm not a Raikou. I think they might have guessed I wasn't a Raikou. Like, I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to eat my Starberry, and Starberry is going to give me a speed boost. Like, come on. I didn't even need that boost. So Porygon is going to keep going for Discharge there to try and break my Substitute on the Zoroark. And I throw that Substitute out, but it didn't. I was like, man, it didn't break. That's really, really cool. So I'm going to go for the Flamethrower here on the Porygon, and that is going to be enough to take it out, which is really cool right there. I like Conversion and Conversion too. They're really, really interesting moves. Now, the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Scorbunny again. I don't really know what they're trying to do with this. I think they're trying to make it into a certain type. If, that's a little clue there. And I'm going to go for the extra sentry, hoping for a flinch so I don't get my Substitute broken. And now Scorbunny's going to go for a Blaze Kick, kicking the Substitute Doll. Of course, the Substitute Doll is going to be broken here. So I can go for any other attacking move to take that. However, Scorbunny's got Quick Attack, and that's going to turn it into a normal type, and Zoroark is going to fade to that. That's very, very salty right there. So Zoroark fated. That's the end of the movie, people. We can't have the movie without Zoroark, right? Now we're going to go into Zoroark. I really tried to troll them here. I was like, let's go into Raikou again. I want to see if I can trick them. I went for a counter here. Scorbunny's going to go for the Blaze Kick, which is excellent. And now I'm going to transform into Zoroark. The illusion is worn off, and the counter is going to take Scorbunny out. So I know I like to do that. It's really fun, like trying to mess with the opponent. I really can't wait to use Hisui Zoroark. It's going to be lots of fun. Next Pokemon is going to be Arcanine. So I know exactly what this Arcanine is going to use for sure, judging on the other Pokemon that have been used. This really this makes me want to use another new version of this team, but I'm going to wait to Gen 9 to see what moves we get. Hopefully we get the right moves and Pokemon in the game to make things exciting. So Zoroark is going to be fading, so now I've lost half my team. Arcanine used, obviously it's burned itself out, so now it's typeless, and it's going to go for a Facade here. So Facade is going to do pretty nice damage there to my Suicune because I actually scored a critical hit. I'm going to go for Liquidation. Since Arcanine is not a fire type anymore, it's typeless. It's going to take some not very effective neutral damage, not very effective damage, but it was super effective before. That's why the Arcanine can be burned by the Flame Orb too, because it is typeless. So I'm going to get Will-O-Wisp by the Arcanine. Unfortunately, since I got burned, my attack is kind of like trashed now, and Arcanine actually has a chance of taking me out now because that burn's going to do extra damage. And matter of fact, this is going to be another double KO because Suicune is going to fade, and so is Arcanine due to the Flame Orb damage from before. So we've had two double KOs in this battle already, which is pretty cool. So we got two Pokemon left on each side of the field. Next Pokemon is going to be Stunfisk. So I know for a fact this is going to have something to do with Mimicry. Now, this Celebi set is trash. I've got Perisong, Protect, Healing Wish, and Metronome. So Stunfisk is going to swap out here, interesting, and we've got the Latias coming. Now, this is a momentous turn. Like, you watch what happened here. So I got the Perisong up here, which is cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to trap the opponent in, so I couldn't really make use of this. Now, Latios is going to go for the Reflect type, which is really cool, turning itself into Celebi's type. Now, I said this out loud when the battle was happening. Imagine if I got a Bug type move for 4 times super effective. I got First Impression and it failed. Come on. That's going to be the most saltiest thing ever. So Latios got Steel Wing as it's like a physical Latios, and I'm just going to keep going for Metronome. Like, I was really hoping for U-turn. I think I said something along the lines of, imagine if I got a Bug type move here, and it was something like U-turn, and I got a First Impression. So I got Celebi, I got Hardened on Celebi, which is amazing. And now Latios is going to swap out, obviously dodging that Perisong, and my Celebi I'm also going to swap out as well. So I was thinking here, looking at the last two movesets, I'm like, I don't have a lot to hit this Stunfisk with. I really don't, because this physical Raikou isn't very good, and it's got like maybe electric type move. That's about it. So I did a double swap here into Celebi just to check out what move the Stunfisk actually would be having. I'm sure this is going to be the Dynamax Pokemon, or Latios is going to set up like a terrain or something like that. That's what I was thinking along those lines. I really like the Mimicry ability. It's very unique. I just, like I've said this before in the past, I just wish that Stunfisk would get its own, like, terrain move so he wouldn't have to rely on Dynamax. I mean, you know, Gen 9 onwards, we're not even going to have the Dynamax, so it won't even be able to set them up itself. So it's going to go for the Max Overgrowth here. That's not going to do a lot of damage. I'm glad I swapped into Celebi, by the way, there. That would have, hurt a lot. Now, I'm thinking about grass moves that Stunfisk has. I'm like, well, I think this is coming off Snap Trap. And now it's going to change itself into a grass type. So like, okay, cool. Now with Celebi, if I could get something really nice off Metro, like a Fire Blast, for example, that'd be cool. And I got Slash. I'm like, okay, well, it's not all that bad. I guess it's neutral, but, it's not going to do very much to the Stunfisk and Dynamax, and I don't have any attack EVs. I've got max health and max speed. So I got hit by another Max Overgrowth there, and I'm going to eat my Citrus Berry. That was my item. So at the moment, I'm kind of just trying to stall out the Dynamax here. I can't swap in Raikou at all because it's going to get, like, bodied in one shot. Maybe two shots. Like, probably have to live 2 turns, but, that gets rid of Raikou there. It's like, this Celebi's extremely passive, unless it gets, like, a really lucky move. So I actually got quite a good move here. I got Morning Sun, and that's going to heal up my Celebi. So essentially, I stalled out this Stunfisk really nicely. But the problem is here, once the grass wears off, like the grass typing, I don't know what I can really do. I'm going to have to rely on like a lucky move here, maybe. So getting hit by another Max Overgrowth, that is the final turn of the Stunfisk Dynamax. It's going to get healed all the way back up to full health. So I actually did like no damage to Stunfisk at all. I successfully stalled it, but that's about it. So I've got I think we got like 1 or 2 turns. Sorry, we got 2 turns left. 1 to 2 turns left of the grassy terrain, and now the coast is clear, I'm going to go into Raikou. So now Stunfisk is going to go for a Snap Trap here. Snap Trap does a good amount of damage. Like, imagine that coming off like the Dynamax. It would have like dropped me after the poison damage too. So unfortunately now I've got the poison damage from Toxic Orb, and I've got the, the end effects of Snap Trap too. So I'm like, well, the time is now. I've got to get some damage up here. Now I really try to think, like, maybe I should go for an electric type move here. I could put electric terrain on the field and make Stunfisk an electric type Pokemon. That way I could go for Facade or Max Stripe. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to do much damage, or maybe I should just go for, Max Steel Spike off Iron Head, that I could get like immediately good damage there on it. So go for the Max Steel Spike, and it did alright, but Stunfisk is a very, very bulky Pokemon too. So getting a defense rise there, which is always good. Here comes another Snap Trap. I don't know whether this has got any other moves like on it, like I don't really know. Anyway, it's going to do very minimal damage there. So the unfortunate bit about this is now the grassy terrain is going to be running out on the very next turn. So I was taking a lot of damage here as well. No, the grassy terrain disappeared this turn, so I really only had 2 turns now to do something. So Mimikyu is going to wear off, changing it back to its original typing, being, Steel. And that's really, really bad, because I cannot do any damage at all. Also ground, so I can't do any electric moves either to change its Mimikyu typing. So maybe in hindsight there, I could have changed it into an electric type. It would have given me a couple more turns, but I just don't see Raikou be able to, obviously defeat it. Like, I could have got maybe, let's say I could have got 1 Max Strike. Well, it was going to do nothing anyway, and I was going to be fainting, probably the next couple of turns anyway. So go for my final Max Steel Spike on the Stunfisk. I've got lots of defense rise there, but it's not going to matter because I'm poisoned, and I've got the Snap Trap hitting me at the same time. So I get a critical hitter there, not that it really matters at all, and Raikou is going to faint to the Toxop. So all I've got left now is my Celebi with Metronome, and there's 2 minutes left of the battle. So my only real hope here, I need a sip of G Fuel. Very nice. It's quite hot here. Code Soul is 30% off all month. Back to the battle anyway. Sorry about that. Oh, my only hope here is to actually get moves that are super effective against us. So I got Headbutt. I was like, wait, maybe I can get a flinch there. It's 30% chance. And it didn't happen. So we got Snap Trap from the Stunfisk again. So Stunfisk seems to have no other moves than Snap Trap to, deal any damage. I just probably got like, it might have a ground type move. That's about it. But, Celebi being Celebi with, its typing is going to resist that. So I got Metronome Hail, which it was good and bad. But, I mean, that does damage to Stunfisk, sure. But it also does damage to me. So, like, okay, I'm going to resign myself here to say, hopefully I can take the Stunfisk out. That'll be good. I'll be happy with that result. It'll be, it'll be 1 Pokemon each. So I'll be happy with that result. So I got the Hail going here. Stunfisk is getting close to fainting. All I really need is some sort of decent, even a neutral special move would be amazing. So go for the Metronome here again on the Celebi, and I got Slam. I got the old Tim Tam Slam. Here it comes. Look at this animation. And it did 3 damage, so that was nothing. So I don't know, kept getting moves that are steel resistant all the time. So this is the last turn that I was going to able to use the Metronome because of the stupid 20-minute timer and, you know, all the animations that were happening too. We had Snap, Trap, and Hail at the same time. So here we go. 9 seconds ago, I've pressed the A button and we've gone for our final Metronome or attacking moves here, and I got Venoshock. Come on! Like, that was really, really bad luck there. So Stunfisk is going to finish me off with a Scald there. That was the other move that I had only just started using. And they're going to burn as well to, you know, just rub some salt into the wound there. And that's it, people. Let's just forget the last little bit. There was Celebi. It was a giant soul pole. I'll be back tomorrow with a, what's tomorrow? Thursday. Another video. All right. Peace out, people. Hope you enjoyed this Zoroark movie team. I think we got like 3 to go. Peace out.